Heavy rainfall and potential flooding make today a WRAL weather alert day. When the rain could start where you are and how much you'll see.
Shooting investigation. A man walks into a Raleigh gas station with a gunshot wound. What we're learning from the scene from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker.
Demanding accountability. Questions about the 3 Wake County schools now deemed unsafe. The search for who was responsible for that construction 30 years ago.
And it is 6 o'clock. We'll get you caught up on what you need to know and while you were sleeping. A lot to tell you about here on this Wednesday morning. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Renee Chu.
I'm Chris Lovingo. We got traffic. We have breaking news. But let's go ahead and start with weather with meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. She's been tracking why today is a WRAL weather alert day, and she's been looking into that next weather maker.
Oh boy, this one is a doozy. We have a cold front that's going to move in and interact with all that moisture that's in place right now. Let's zoom in actually on dual Doppler 5000 radar. You can see near Richmond, there's a severe thunderstorm warning. This line that's developed to the north will move into our area, and our northern counties could see some severe storms in terms of wind damage a bit later on today. Mostly in the Triangle, we'll see the rain arriving late tonight and lasting into the first part of the day Thursday. That means the morning commute tomorrow could be pretty messy for us. We have a flood watch that goes in effect this morning in the north and in the south later on this evening. But this yellow area is where we'd have the best chance of seeing any wind damage in terms of rain, 2 to 4 inches starting today, lasting all the way through Thursday, possibly into Friday and Saturday. Showers and thunderstorms for the Triangle could begin a bit later on this afternoon and, of course, continue overnight and into tomorrow. Right now, we're fairly cloudy and warm, 81 degrees, 72 is our dew point, so it's a very tropical start, and it is warmer this morning than it was yesterday. We climbed to 90 this afternoon, but with the rain tomorrow, our temperatures will be as cool as they were in early June. I'll show you what that will look like. But, of course, tomorrow will be a weather alert day with that good chance for rain and that flooding potential. Ken?
Well, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center, a rather quiet start, albeit the morning commute, I-40, Airport Boulevard. You can see traffic flowing at a nice steady clip, and that's what we're seeing in all of our major routes coming into Raleigh this morning. You're coming in from Wake Forest, you're coming in from Knightdale, the Garner-Johnson County area, all delay-free. You're getting ready to head into the car, though. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Ken, thank you. This morning, we are working to learn more information about a large police presence in Raleigh last night. We first brought you this story as breaking news at 11 p.m. Officers appeared to be surrounding a home on Pin Oak Road off New Hope Road for hours overnight. The last officers cleared the scene a little after 2:30 this morning.
Well, new this morning, Durham Academy says one of its athletics coaches was charged with possession of child pornography. The school confirmed to WRAL that person worked as an assistant middle school track and field coach this past spring. And the school says there's no information to suggest the charges are related to any Durham Academy students, families, or school activities. But we here at WRAL are working to confirm the name of the person who is charged. Okay, we do want to get back to some breaking news we have been following. Right now, Raleigh police are at a gas station on Jones Sausage Road investigating a shooting. Let's go ahead and go out to WRAL's Kelsey Coffey. She's been at that scene in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker for a little bit here. So kind of walk us through what you have seen and what you have learned, Kelsey.
Chris, this scene cleared just within the past 5 minutes, and officers were here investigating after a man walked inside a gas station with a gunshot wound. It happened at this speedway here that's on Jones Sausage Road. But we can show you some video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker so you can get a look at this scene when it was much more active just a few moments ago. So police say a clerk noticed a man with a gunshot wound to his head and side area when he walked inside the convenience store. That's when that clerk called 911 around 3 a.m. When officers arrived, the man appeared to be drunk, but he is expected to live after those injuries. Now, officers were tracking the man's footprints in the parking lot between Speedway and the Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue that's right next door. And police say that they are still searching for that suspect. We'll be sure to keep you updated if we find out any new information. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Wake school leaders say they are working to find out who is responsible for building 3 schools decades ago that are now deemed structurally unsafe. WRAL's Allie Calabar joins us live from Davis Drive Elementary. Allie, there could be potential legal and financial consequences.
Yeah, Renee, Wake School leaders say they have staff combing through records trying to find who built Davis Drive behind me and 2 other elementary schools about 30 years ago. Now, they say that they say emergency repairs on those schools are expected to cost $5.8 million. At Davis Drive and Creech Road, repairs are scheduled to be done 3 days before students return to class. At Durant Road, a year-round school, students will have to move to Abbott's Creek Elementary until August 17th. Now, if work isn't done on time, leaders say they plan to burn through bank days and teacher work days, then move students to other locations. Superintendent Robert Taylor explains why these repairs are absolutely necessary.
What the engineers found was not about aging. It really was about original construction when the building was designed.
Designed that building. And so we are asking those questions that you see on your screen. Who is responsible for building these schools that are now deemed unsafe? And also, were any other district schools built by the same person? Of course, the district says they are working to find those answers. Reporting live in Cary, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
The Cary Town Council is working on how to address recommendations brought forth in a recent state audit. You see, that report detailed years of financial misconduct and a toxic workplace culture that tied itself to former town manager Sean Stegall. Now, we have been asking town council members how much responsibility they are taking in this and what role they will play in fixing the problems. WRAL was at last night's Cary Town Council work session, and it was the first one since that audit was released. Now, during that meeting, they discussed 2 ways to fix the financial misconduct and hostile environment. First, by bringing in consultants to manage annual performance review of top town employees there, but also a policy meant to protect employees who report bad behavior.
My failure in this situation has been not being loud enough and not being, I think, proactive enough to ask enough questions in the few instances where I started to see things didn't seem quite right.
Last night's meeting focused on changing the workplace culture that led to some of the problems, and the council is also working on how to make changes that will not allow the town manager to have as much financial power, plus changes to town-issued credit cards for town staff.
Happening today, the bodies of 4 soldiers, including 2 from Fort Bragg, who were killed in the Middle East over the weekend, will return to the U.S. President Trump plans to attend the dignified transfer ceremony today at Dover Air Force Base. Lieutenant Tyler Fian died over the weekend in an Iranian attack on a base in Jordan. He was part of the 2nd Battalion, 55th Air Defense Artillery Regiment. He was from Hawaii. Loved ones are also remembering Sergeant Michael Swinton. He died over the weekend during a controlled detonation of a drone in Iraq. He was 30 years old. Swinton attended several Cumberland County high schools and enlisted in the Army in 2017. His mother remembers him as a devoted soldier and father of 2 children.
Every time, something like that happens, we feel the pain and we feel the suffering just like the family does.
Swinton will receive the Bronze Star, Purple Heart, and Combat Action Badge. He will also be posthumously promoted to Staff Sergeant.
And the U.S. military says it completed its 11th consecutive night of strikes on Iran. In a social media post last night, U.S. Central Command says the United States hit several Iranian targets. And as the war approaches the 5-month mark, the Trump administration is asking Congress for nearly $88 billion to fund the war. And now lawmakers are asking Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth about the progress being made by the U.S.
We need straight answers. Do we have the ability to destroy whatever is underneath Pickaxe Mountain?
Senator, a lot of our capabilities are classified, but if anybody in the world can reach anything on God's green earth, it's the United States military, the most powerful military in the world. It's all about options and trade-offs.
Secretary Hegseth says the war in Iran has cost more than $37 billion so far, but experts say that number is likely higher.
A recently returned search warrant is shedding new light on the 2004 death of 16-year-old Josh Davis in Garner. It identifies a local police officer as the suspect in the case. Now, according to the search warrant, tipsters told Garner police in 2008 and 2010 Megan Potter was involved in Davis's death. Potter, who is a Four Oaks police officer, denied it. The warrant says Potter was identified as a suspect last year during a case review. It says she used a law enforcement database to search one of the tipsters. The FBI seized her phone in March. Garner police want more information from that phone. Potter was demoted in June. She was placed on unpaid administrative leave. She has not been charged in connection with Davis's death.
Today, the first of two giant turbines will arrive at the new Person County Energy Complex in Roxborough. Duke Energy says the plant will use combustion and steam turbines to generate electricity. It says that will increase the efficiency. The turbine is expected to arrive later this morning. And also happening today, people in Durham will get a chance to learn more about the work that's happening in the state legislature. Durham's legislative delegation will host a town hall tonight, and they're going to talk about the new updates and answer questions from their constituents. Officials from Durham and Durham County will also be there. The town hall will start at 6 at the County Commissioner's Chambers on East Main Street.
Getting ahead of the curve. The U.S. House is trying to avoid a government shutdown months in advance. The work being done to get a bill across the finish line before the November midterms.
We're also talking about avoiding a headache. There are 2 concerts at Carter Finley Stadium this week. The advice fans are getting after major traffic delays at past concerts there.
And our big story today is the potential for flooding. That could start later today. Heavy rain tonight and into the day tomorrow. I'll show you how much you could see.
Stay safe with the latest WRAL Weather Alert Day info. Get up to the minute weather and traffic conditions when you get in your car. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM, in Durham 96.5 FM, and everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:14, watching this next weather maker. It produced a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings, even some tornado warnings last night up in Virginia. This front will sneak southward. We won't see that same amount of severe storms here. The main thing that we'll end up seeing is some heavy rain, and that could start a little later on today in our northern counties. Gradually, that front will sink southward and push that rain all the way down toward Fayetteville and Clinton by late tomorrow. So it's going to be a slow-moving front. So the action starts earlier today in our northern counties and then gradually moves southward. In the Triangle, the heaviest rain will be tonight through the first half of the day tomorrow. Right now, it is cloudy, and we're looking at warm conditions. It's 81 in Durham, 80 in Goldsboro, 80 in Fayetteville and in Southern Pines. So it's warmer than yesterday, and our high temperature this afternoon climbs to around 90. If you're looking to walk the dog after work, in most places we'll be okay, but we will be following that band of heavy rain, and I'll show you how much you could see coming up.
Elizabeth, weather and traffic every 10 minutes. So checking some secondary routes, especially if you're coming in from the Holly Springs Fuquay Arena area. All those routes are delay-free, including Highway 401, so you will get to your destination on time. Similarly, we're not picking up any delays if you're coming in from the Garner-Johnston County area, US 70, I-40 westbound, all delay-free. Coming up, I'll take a look at major routes heading into the Triangle and let you know if I'm picking up any delays at this hour.
All right, sounds good, Ken. We'll come back to you in just a bit. Well, lawmakers in Washington are working to avoid a government shutdown at the end of September. I do want to give you a live look at the U.S. Capitol right now, and that is where last night the House approved a stopgap bill months ahead of schedule. Now, this bill would fund the government through December 4th, and it's meant to ensure that a shutdown would not happen before the midterm elections in November.
I'm Laura Levine here in the WRAL Live Center, where Canada has now canceled a joint celebration with the U.S. to mark the opening of the Gordie Howe International Bridge. Here's a photo of that bridge that connects Windsor, Ontario to Detroit. This is all because of those trade threats from President Donald Trump. A spokesperson says in light of trade action threatened by the U.S. earlier this week, it would be inappropriate to proceed with a celebratory event between the two countries. Now, the bridge is scheduled to open to traffic next week on July 27th. A ribbon-cutting ceremony was planned for this week, July 24th, with U.S. and Canadian officials expected to attend. Canada is still committed to opening the bridge, they say, on July 27th, but will do so marking the milestone celebrating among Canadians.
All right, so just a heads up, drivers, you can expect traffic delays in Raleigh this week as there are 2 concerts happening at Carter Finley Stadium. Guns N' Roses play at the stadium tomorrow night, and then Noah Kahan will perform Saturday night. The parking lots open at 1:30 both days. Traffic is expected to be heavy from 12:30 to 6:30 p.m. And if you are going to either event, organizers are asking that you arrive early and you pay for your parking in advance. Now, this advice is meant to help avoid the major traffic backups we saw last fall. Remember when Chris Brown performed at the stadium? Many people were stuck in traffic and parking lots for hours. There were even some car break-ins that were reported in that area.
Tropical storm Bertha is expected to make landfall in the Gulf Coast today. It is forecasted to unleash heavy rain along the coastal areas of northern Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana as it pushes west toward Texas. Communities along the Gulf are getting ready. People in Louisiana are filling sandbags as they prepare for a landfall.
I'd rather take the necessary precautions that I need than have water coming in my house. You can never over prepare for something living down here.
Bertha is the second tropical storm of the Atlantic hurricane season. Water levels are improving as we try and get out of our drought. Falls Lake rose again this week as recent rain has given the water supply a boost. It is now at 66% of capacity, up 1 percentage point from last week. The lake is still about 5 feet lower than it needs to be.
And we still need rain. I mean, this is why it's kind of a good thing we've been seeing what we have been getting in the area, though some places getting a little much. But Elizabeth, I'm looking right here. So is this the next system that's kind of pushing through to set the next weather maker for us?
So the next weather maker is this front. And last night we saw multiple, look at those yellow boxes. Those are all the severe thunderstorm warnings and a bunch of tornado warnings there too. Now, I wouldn't expect this to be a tornado threat for us, but this front could bring some severe storms in our northern counties later on today. And then it's likely to stall over us and bring us a lot of heavy rain. So we definitely need the rain. We do have a flood watch that goes into effect in our northern counties this morning and our southern counties later on today. 2 to 4 inches of rain are possible with this system. And in some pockets, especially in our eastern counties, it may be that we see some totals that are even higher than up to 4 inches. As a matter of fact, take a look here. This red shaded area from Warrenton back over toward Roanoke Rapids, that's where we'll have the best chance of flooding today. And it certainly could be over 4 inches total by the time we get to, say, Friday or Saturday. The yellow shaded area is a medium risk for flooding for today. It's all going to be with that front sinking southward. Lots of moisture in place. And again, on Thursday, tomorrow, our highest risk for flooding is going to be from Rocky Mount to Wilson to Smithfield over toward Goldsboro. But everybody's going to have the potential to see some pretty significant rainfall. By lunchtime today, we could see that front to the north sinking southward into our northern counties, and a few of those cells could produce some wind damage. As we get into the afternoon, we'll likely have some isolated showers and storms. Notice how it weakens a little bit, but overnight tonight, it's likely to redevelop into a heavier band. This is midnight, and then by tomorrow morning, we're looking at some heavy rain across the triangle. So it could be a real messy commute tomorrow. Then by lunchtime, it all shifts to the south, and most of the rain will be south through the afternoon on Thursday. But the front stalls, so we could still have the potential for some rain Thursday night into Friday and maybe even into Saturday. So this is a look at our chances. 80 to 100% tonight and into the day tomorrow, 40% Friday and 40% chance again on Saturday. Oh, this is an updated view of how much rain that we could see in the next 7 days. And the Weather Prediction Center just bumped that up to 5 inches. So again, this is something that we'll be watching very carefully. For the 3 months of April, May, and June, we only saw about 6 inches total. So far in July, we've seen almost 7 inches, and we could add 4 to 5 more inches to that. Of course, for outdoor plans, here's what that means. Thursday, most of the rain will be south, so I think for Guns N' Roses, we're going to be okay. Noah Kahan on Saturday, we do have the chance of a few showers. It's going to be a nice cool day. Starting tomorrow, a high just 77, and then in the 80s through the weekend. I'll show you how long it's been since we've seen temperatures in the 70s. Once we get past the weekend, we do start to dry out early next week, and we're back into the 90s again.
No 90s, but look forward to the 80s. Hey, Elizabeth, thanks. Hey, here's what you can expect. You're heading out, especially if you're coming in from the Gardner-Johnston County area, I-40 westbound. Those are the lanes moving away from us this morning, and eventually you'll be navigating that southern loop of the Beltline, but we're not picking up any delays between Highway 36 and the Beltline. line. The southern loop of the Beltline delay-free as well. And if you're navigating I-40 westbound through Wade Avenue, it's all delay-free. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Housing assistance. There has been a surge in calls for support. 5 on Your Side shows what's being done to help neighbors in need.
Plus, Canes TV. There will be a new way to watch the Carolina Hurricanes, and soon, when the team will debut its own network. All right, Caniacs, there will be a new way to watch the Carolina Hurricanes this season as the Canes are starting their own network. The Hurricanes' previous home network for games, FanDuel, shut down at the end of last season. And so now the team will handle the production with help from the NHL. It's going to work to find cable, satellite, and streaming partners. Announcers Mike Maniscalco and Trip Tracy, they will still call all the action. We don't know yet, though, the name for the new network or where you'll be able to watch it, but we'll update you as soon as we learn.
This What's Trending report is sponsored by Call Dad AC and Heating.
Mr. Beast ties the knot, and new details in the LeBron James sweepstakes.
All right, let's bring in Ken Smith to talk about it this morning and what's trending.
Yeah, so let's start with Mr. Beast, that YouTuber. He's married. He posted photos of him with his wife, Thea Boyson, on YouTube with the caption, "I found Mrs. Beast." Now, according to People magazine, the couple got married in a small ceremony last week in my native British Virgin Islands.
Hopefully that nickname will stick. Mrs. Beast. The couple got married on Necker Island in the BVI, which is owned by Sir Richard Branson. Maybe they'll have a reception in Mr. Beast's hometown of Greenville, North Carolina.
Just might.
Maybe a party there. Yeah.
So, listen, basketball fans are still waiting to find out where LeBron James will play next year. And apparently some teams are doing the same thing. ESPN reporting the Miami Heat accidentally posted a live stream link for the July 27th titled LeBron James Introductory Press Conference. The team confirming to ESPN, yeah, that was a mistake.
That's not just a mistake. That's a rookie mistake, especially with a big topic like that. Come on, guys.
I know.
Big
Probably they're hopeful.
Search for accountability. Wake County Schools wants to track down the contractor who built 3 schools that are now considered structurally unsound. What those problems mean for the start of the school year.
And our next weather maker likely to bring some heavy rain. You can see this line from Roanoke to Richmond. That's headed our way. I'll show you when you'll start to see the rain.